world's #1 golfer almost shoots an eagle. Scotty Scheffler almost holed out his second shot at the par 4 first hole. Today, I'm at La Quinta Country Club, and this is where my second home is located. The club is host course for the American Express golf tournament taking place now. Seeing Scheffler almost shoot an eagle reminded me of a life impacting incident in my life, which brings me to the subject of today's nugget, finding your eagle. And I'll be right back with our coaching segment after this short video of our upcoming Hawaii Leaders Summit. Finding your eagle. Years ago, when I lived in Tulsa, Oklahoma, a horrific storm swept across the city. The wind gusts knocked down hundreds of trees and telephone poles, and over 200,000 residents and businesses were without power. And during that storm, a large tree in our front yard crashed to the ground, and all that remained was a 10-foot shattered tree trunk. And I was going to have the trunk removed. However, as I drove by a house in my neighborhood, I noticed they also had a fallen tree. But instead of removing it, they had done something different with it. They hired a chainsaw sculptor, and that artisan had carved a bear out of the broken tree trunk. I contacted that sculptor, and soon wood chips and sawdust were flying everywhere. And slowly, a shape started to form out of that old trunk. And after a few hours, what was once a piece of dead wood had become a beautiful eagle sitting on top of an American flag. Marveling at the amazing job he had done, I inquired, what was his strategy in creating the eagle? And he replied, his secret was first, he visualized an eagle inside of the trunk. And then he would cut away everything that did not look like an eagle. Later, I pondered and thought about what he shared. This was also a great strategy in the area of increasing productivity. And since that time, I've used what he told me as a personal guide. For instance, each Monday, I write down my most important task, and I call these my Eagle of the Week. And setting a priority on these tasks help me to stay focused and resist distractions. And in addition, it helps me to keep less important activities from crowding out my most important task. Also, this routine has made me more efficient but reduced stress. Tim Ferris, who is a TED Talk guru, believes that this process helps leaders to focus on being productive instead of being busy. So if you want to increase your productivity, I would suggest taking advice from my wood sculpture. Cut away everything that does not look like an eagle. God bless you. Go with increase.